blue too, I guess. I guess I'll get that too then. It's 1:30 right now. I could probably go get the part and be back by, I can be back by next Thursday, next week. You want me to go get the truck and bring it in here? What else do you need?
Can I use my system?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't use this thing, but yeah, you could use the other. You have what, a couple bathrooms in here?
Grab those bags and take them back up to the truck.
Well, so are we gonna come back a different day or are we gonna call someone else out? Because that's 3 bags and just 2 guys. Today? Yo, what's up, man? Fresh, first day on the job. What's poppin'? Just passed that Bond Light Stockton.
Nice to meet you. Are those the only shoes you brought?
Yo, you like them? Y'all don't got AC?
Not out here.
That's us, bro. What's up, baby? What's it do? Man, it's gonna be me and you out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Slanging and banging. You and me all day, every day. What?
Fresh air.
Bussin', bro. Man, what y'all got up in the fridge, dude? Oh, apple juice! You should get me on there, man, with a fit check. With the flat cap bill, rocking them Jordan 4s, right? With the Home Hero shirt. I've gone to shops where literally guys will pull me aside and be like, man, I love all this stuff you're teaching, but if I do this, I'll be out till midnight. They're just gonna give me more calls. And it's heartbreaking. It's like, man, what's the real goal here? Like if I've got 12 tables in a restaurant and I can serve those 12 people and give them the best experience ever and I can be profitable. If I wanna make more money, I'm gonna add a 13th table. I'm not gonna add a 13th customer. Meaning I'm gonna increase my capacity. I'm not just gonna shove more people into my capacity. If my room fits 56 people and I wanna sell more tickets to my event, I either have to increase the capacity or hold separate events. I can't put 115 people into a room of 57 people.
They want a tankless and a softener installed. They don't have either, and they've already been approved for financing.
What's that got to do? So you want me to go out there and do that call?
Well, they also say they've been having trouble with their sewer line and been wanting to replace it for a while, but they can't find somebody who they like to do it, but they think they trust us.
I don't want to have to work super hard to get it though. You want me to repipe the house, put it in the tankless, softener. Did you say something about a sewer line?
That's what it looks like. I think we should go check it out, man.
No, bro, this is ridiculous. And is this commission?
Yeah, I already talked to the owner about it. He wants to actually double your commission on it because it's such a big job.
No. So you want me to go out there, you want me to run this call, it's a bunch of work and a bunch of money or whatever, but it's also a bunch of taxes, and you're gonna have people out there helping me, watch me, do what I do, and then you want me to get it done faster so I make even more money, and then I have to, take another call because now I'm done by Thursday or something?
What else are you gonna be doing instead here, Steve? This is the job, man.
You got any odor smells or anything like that on there? Like maybe like in a different, maybe just... Why does on-call suck? Well, look, here's the thing. Most companies that do on-call 24/7 after hours, they don't treat it the same way they do during normal hours. They have a full staff and they have a full support system if someone calls between 8 and 5. But then after hours, they don't have a CSR, they don't have a supply staff, they don't have a lot of other things, and they want to go out and charge the same rates to the customer, if not even more, because they're doing after hours work. If you want to charge more and do on-call, then provide more service after hours. If you can't provide at least the same service that you provide during the day after hours, then you shouldn't do it. Think of it like an emergency room. Not every doctor is open after hours, but emergency rooms have a full staff after hours. Be an emergency room or be a doctor. But you gotta pick one and make sure that whatever you pick, you can service to the full. When there's no plumbers to hire, there's still a lot of plumbers that don't work for you working in your city. You're just not known enough. And so everybody tries to be just known enough because you don't want to overspend your marketing. And he goes, well, what do you do with all the money you spend on leads that you can't get to? And I'm like, well, what do you do with all the money you don't make when you're slow? See how this goes both ways? So I would rather spend a couple extra thousand every month and waste it and be known and have leads and momentum and be moving forward and I can hire into than to have that day, just one day when I'm slow. It'll be a couple grand in revenue off of one truck that we don't get.
It's that time again!
You've now entered the No Sale Zone.
No Sales Zone.
Where Chris Fresh
The plumbing sales coach.
peels back the curtain of what sales really is. Buckle up. Buckle up. And get ready to learn how to increase ticket average by providing better service. And now, your host,
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
CF.
The plumbing sales coach.
Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Fresh Approach. I'm your host, CF, the plumbing sales coach. And tonight I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia at Peach Plumbing and Drain in the Midtown area. What's up, everybody? Brandon Graham, freshness. What a blast from the past, brother, my man. Look, guys, I got time in with Brandon. I got time in. Like, we didn't serve in prison, but we should have. What's up, my man? TJ Jones in the house from Peach. TJ is one of the killers there. Good to see you, brother. Fresh time. We ready. Good to see all of you guys jumping on the show. We've got a doozy for you tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about options, and we're going to be breaking it down in more ways than you can imagine. I'm going to peel back the curtain on exactly how I run a call and deliver options and what I do to make sure that the customer is fully comfortable, confident, and secure in what I'm offering. And it's not about sales. It's just not. But it is about communication. It is about clarity because people don't buy when they're confused. In fact, consumer confidence is what we're after. That's what we're building. That's what we're doing. We could do it in more ways than one. What up, Kyle Ross? Good to see you, sir. Chesco Plumbing dialed in. Patrick, good to see you. Making the world go round. We may have stopped the world, Brandon, a few times. And if my other man gets on here, my boy, our boy, we're really going to light this thing off. What's up, Cost? Good to see you. Connor O'Brien says, let's go. Let's go. Thanks for being here. Sick Utah in the house. We're at Utah, Jeremy Wilkinson. I was in high school in Utah. I went to high school in Utah. I graduated high school in Utah. I barely graduated high school in Utah. Maybe. That's a better way of saying it. All right, tonight we doing it. Okay, now right in the middle of a 6-part series, How to Cook in Sales. Okay, we're on our 5th part of that series, How to Cook in Sales. And we broke it down. We gave you the 3 ingredients. That was the first thing. Every good chef needs the ingredients. Every good chef needs the ingredients. So we gave you the ingredients. And by the way, before we go too much further, no, this is not a green screen. That's the real deal Holyfield. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, this place is popping. I love this place. Okay. We're talking about how to cook in sales. And you need the ingredients. We said relationship, diagnose, value stack. Then we started breaking those things during those 3 things down. And we broke down relationships a few weeks back. Then we went into diagnosing. We talked about the importance of diagnosing. And then tonight we're breaking down the options. Now we did value stacking last Thursday, and we really broke down this idea of like, if you're diagnosing the right way and you're going into homes, there's a lot of times that there are more problems in that home than the customer originally called out for. And so we want to be able to take care of those problems. And what we do is we go in and we diagnose, because that's what service plumbers do. Oh, I'm just a helper at Royal Flush, but I love to listen and learn. What's up, gentlemen? My man, fresher than fresh. It is the one and only, folks. It is Joey. It is Joey Cisneros. That's right, Joey Cisneros. Cisneros Plumbing out of sunny Southern California. He's in the spirit. He's in the high desert, but he owns the entire Inland Empire. That's my man. I grew up in Southern California, for the record. That's why I'm a Kobe fan. Well, actually, I'm a winner. That's why I'm a Kobe fan. But the No Sales Zone. That's right. Service over sales. All right. We had a lot of people jumping on. We're talking about how to cook in sales, 6-part series. We did the 3 ingredients of sales a couple weeks back. And tonight we're breaking down options. We're going to cover 3 different main points and options. Tonight's going to be a doozy. We got a lot to cover. So I want to get into that, but you can learn a lot from him. Kevin Ray Hummel says, thank you, sir. Kevin Ray Hummel, the man, the myth, the legend. Kevin Ray Hummel, the plumber. Mr. Level Copper. He actually personally plumbed in 2 tanklesses in my house, along with a carbon filter and a salted softener. I can't even talk. Salted softener. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's redundant. You can't have a softener if you ain't got salt. And I don't care what people say. Stop it, he says. What's up? Only one option, Lucas Cena. What's up? What's that even mean, only one option? I love you, bro. That's the way you grow. He says that's the way you go. Oh, I'm the only one option. Appreciate it. Well, there's other options out there, but I'm with you. Burger is the value stack. Jacob Broussard. What's up, my man? Jacob Broussard. Hey, pretty sure it's my boy, right? Bruce. Is that right? I want to learn as much as I can from what I've seen and heard. He's the real deal, so I'm all ears. Now, I'll tell you, the real deal is Brandon Graham. That man is a killer. I told him, me and Brandon used to kick it back in the day with Joey. Joey is literally the kingpin. Me and Brandon were the Goonies, and we hung out with him a lot. We did a lot of stuff. I think we were a toy to Joey sometimes. He threw us on the stunt plane one time, put us in a helicopter. We did some stuff, Brandon. And the only difference between me and Brandon is I beat him to the internet. That's the only difference. The dude is a killer. It can exchange. It's science, he says. That's right. Salted systems. There may be other options, but you are option number 3. Oh, we're going to talk about that tonight. Let's kick off the first point. Actually, tonight hold on. The main point. What's the main point? Oh, what are we doing? Tonight we got what is it? The Stoics Guide to Options. I thought we went with a different route. I think there was some jokes made pre-production. I thought we was going with Aristotle. Folks. I don't know what happened. And this series recorded and going to be available somewhere. Patrick, to be honest with you, Facebook's going to delete it. It's going to get deleted. It's only up for about 30 days. That's why I'm dropping all the hints on this series. I'm telling it all because it's like, well, they're going to delete it. Then you gotta join my program that I'm telling you all the stuff. He is the real deal. As energized in person, I promise. A lot of people don't know this, but I am a part owner of Peach. I'm an owner here, and so TJ is on the team. We've ran calls together. The dude's a killer. Newish father. Come from CE owner training. Want to see what your point of view? Okay. All the pressure's on. What? Is that Mike Aguilera? All the pressure's on me now. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what I believe and what I see out in the field, in the industry, in the world. We'll see what happens. I'll just record it all. Go ahead, Kevin. Then you can sell it, bro. You can start your own business. Selling the recorded training. I love it. I'm a capitalist. I like entrepreneurship. But I am going to need a cut, Kevin. Just kidding. All right, let's do this thing. Point number 1. Actually, secret philosophy number 1. Omne trium perfectum. Now, this is I'm starting out with this. He said, did some options today, and the emergency stops give me the trouble, man. Wait, are you saying they gave you some trouble? The goat runs on pressure, he says. That's right, baby. I'm ready. Look. I ain't worried, bro. I'm wearing them. I got mama mentality on my feet right now. How can you lose when Kobe's in the house? Okay, look, we're going to talk about this first one, Omne Trium Perfectum. This is the big deal. This is kind of where it all stems from. 3 options. There's never 2. There's never 4. There's never 5. There's never 1. There's only 3. There's only 3. I should do a song like, yo, there's only 3. How can it be? I don't know. I'm sorry. You guys didn't sign up for that. All right, we're talking about options, though, and there's 3 of them, okay? 3 of them, always 3 of them. I did this a while back. We're going to break down the 3. Ashley says I can't. Ashley Heilman, owner of We Rep Y'all. And Joey, we got your hat on our back in our studio, back in Indy. We got your hat on there. We got Jason, Canyon Hills Plumbing. We shot him out a couple weeks ago. Ashley is Home Heroes out in Anderson, Indiana. Crazy wild story. Talk about options right here. Ashley and them went from $900,000 a year as a company. They had been in business for 9 years. We changed their name. We rebranded. Actually, they came up with the name. We came up with the brand. We met in the middle, and next thing I know, 5 something. You guys are pacing. You guys are doing like 100 and something a week. You're crushing it, killing it, moving it, shaking it, baking it. You can do in 9 weeks what you used to do in a full year. Oh my gosh. What's even more impressive is they're like community legends. They're all over the internet. If you go look them up on Facebook and TikTok and all, they're hilarious. Cisneros Brothers as well. They got some hilarious videos. They understand marketing. Go check them out. They're gangster. Ashley's the queen of this stuff. And her and Vince have put together a beautiful thing. I think they're up to 10 to 13 trucks. You know, they're rocking, they're rolling. Now, some of you are doing the math. Did you say 150 Did you say $100,000 a week? And then did you also say only 8, 10, 11, 12 trucks? I did. Options are the key. Lucas Cena is on here, has been in the program, was in the program for 4 years. Guy did 1.2 million out of his own truck. 1.2 million out of his own truck. Lucas, right now, people are instant messaging you, looking if you want to see if you want to relocate. He is a beast. Lisa, what's up? Lisa Hammond. Lisa Hammond personally trained me at Angie's List back in the day. And then some were like, what? Angie's List? A long time ago, like 2 decades. Speaking facts. Okay, Omne Trium Perfectum. Let's break this down. It's the power of 3. Now, if you go all the way back to the Bible, I believe it stems from there. Okay, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, the original 3. But even if you don't believe in that, you can go no further than the Romans. And if you want to go a little further back, you can go to the Greeks. But they both studied this in a massive way. In fact, the Greeks are the ones that kind of came up with the concept. And what they said was they were more philosophical about it. The Romans were a little bit more torturous about it. They were learning people habits. And the Greeks basically went through and said, hey, wait, there's something powerful about this idea of 3. And the Romans solidified it. And they said, look, the human brain can only handle 3 thoughts. They can only deal with 3 thoughts at a time on average. And we all know that a confused mind says no. And so you start thinking about that. It's like, man, the more information I shove in my customer's head that's not clean and consistent and memorable, the harder it is for them to make a decision, the more overwhelming the decision becomes. The overwhelming. Look, it's overwhelming for customers. They already woke up to something they didn't expect to deal with. They already have a stranger in the home they didn't want to spend money on, and it's not going to be cheap. It's always going to be more than they wanted it to be. Can I get an amen on that? Can I get an amen on that one? Okay, it's just never going to be the way they want. And what we can do is we can go take an expense, something that's busted and causing them problems. We can turn it into an investment. And these 3 options are the key. Now, there's a strategy in 3 options. Can't just be any 3 options. Can't just be about it can't just be any 3 options. I'm getting a lot of amens. The show's always delayed, right? And we're doing it from a distance. So my studio back in Indiana, my producers and everybody is there broadcasting this from Atlanta. So it's even more slow. So the amens are coming in. I feel like, what did I say? Until they meet me, Brandon's dead. I believe it. Gustavo, what's up, my man? Until they meet me. Brandon's a beast, bro. Anytime plumbing in the house. What's up? What's up? Okay, look, guys, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal because I see it, in our program right now. I want to say we've had probably 2,000-3,000 texts come. I don't even know how many. So many people come to the program now. But right now we probably have 1,000 texts in the program. And I see it. We see the numbers. We see the stats. We get the numbers. Like Ashley's company, crushing. They do 3 options. They teach their customers right. They don't overprice their stuff. They're fair. We talked about diagnosing a few weeks ago. We got to communicate the real diagnosing time to customers. Sometimes, like, look, if I come out to your house and do 1 shut off, I got to drive out. In my mind, I got to drive out there for a half hour, spend a half hour with the customer, spend a half hour fixing the shut off, another 15, 20 minutes cleaning up, collect my payment, get out of there. It's 2 hours. 2 hours of my day for 1 shut off. I can do 6 shutoffs in 2 hours. I can do 12 shutoffs in 3 hours. I can do 16 shutoffs in 4 hours. Like, exponentially gets faster per shutoff. So it's not that I want to discount. It's just like, let's be honest. Let's just be honest with the customer. So yeah, it would normally cost you all kinds of money if you did this one at a time, but it won't if I do them all together. And it's not discounting. It's just simply being honest. So when we think about options, we think about the same thing. 3 options. How can I help them shop at? And my team asked me if I was going to want these graphics, but now I know why they asked me. But how can I help you shop at 7-Eleven? How can I help you shop at the grocery store? And how can I help you shop at Costco? Do you want a little container of milk? Do you want a gallon of milk? Or do you want the cow? One Tom Plumber, Central PA. Jeff, good to see you, brother. A lot of you guys are in the program in the comments right now. If you're in the program, say, hey, we're in the program. Ryan Davis says, I'm not the best salesman plumber out there, but watching all your videos is giving me knowledge to make myself sound better. To the customer, love your videos. It's because amen to you, Ryan. Great job, man. Good for you for taking the time, stepping out of your comfort zone. Great job. Gary says in the program, I want the cow. That's funny. There's some people on here when they hear a cow, they think of someone. Jeff says, moo. Just to provide the best customer service by educating and give education this fresh will naturally happen. Fresh is the truth. I love you, Vince. David's in the program. King Rooter's in the program. Streamline Plumbing, Anytime Plumbing. Killers. Okay, we need to do something. We need to announce a little. Let's give something away real quick because we're in the program. We can Rooter. Yeah, I'm worried about one stop because the rest are okay. That's so funny, man, Brandon. Don't get me off on that tangent because I freak out. People be looking at one shut off. It's got like it's just corroded all together. I mean, you just look at it and it leaks, and they're like, I bet the rest of the house is okay. I bet the rest of the plumbing isn't like this. I bet it isn't. Joey and I used to go to the Vegas, and maybe once in a while we spent some time on a craps table. If them other shutoffs are okay, and that's the only one enduring it, Joey's time to bet the high low. Our odds are in our favor. Can I act like I'm in? Lucas, every day, Lucas, like I miss you. I miss you. I love you, bro. Killer. Quite honestly, man, I'm lucky to you guys. I got put around some of the greatest people on earth doing this. What I get to do, I get to travel around, meet plumbers, go run calls with guys. I've been all over the country running calls. I remember the first time at Joey's shop, I went out. Joey says, "Gosh, Joey, 2019, is that right? I think I'm right. 2019." And I saw a gas valve. Now I've been in plumbing for about 10 years up to this point. And I go back to Cali where I grew up. Never saw plumbing when I was in California. I was a kid, but I go back and I'm looking at it. I'm at a job site and I'm looking at the gas. What I thought, it kind of looked like a gas regulator, but it didn't look like a gas regulator. It didn't look right. I was just like, what the heck is that? And I'm standing next to the guy. And finally I looked at the plumber. I'm like, look, this is going to make me look like I don't know what I'm doing, but what the heck is that? And he's like, it's a seismic gas valve. And I was like, huh, okay. Yeah, they have earthquakes out here. I guess the plumbing would be a little different. Yeah, that 1955 home stops works great, except that one I need to turn off. Right? I just need this one. I just need this one done. Everything else is great. 120 pounds of pressure, I bet it's not affecting anything else. You're probably good to go. Repair, replace, upgrade. That's going to be our second philosophy. And I have been saying this for years. But I really want to say it like this: today, tomorrow, and forever. Because when you think about repair, replace, upgrade, you think about that one item, right? I can repair that item, I can replace that item, I can upgrade that item. And that's true for anything. Like a customer can go fix a tire, they can go replace a tire, they can upgrade a tire. They can do the same thing with their car, they can do the same thing with everything. That's really not anything new. Repair, replace, upgrade. That's what you can do. But today, tomorrow, forever really rings truer for me because when you think about it, like you're solving problems. So, we talked about diagnosing. We're problem solvers. We're expert problem solvers. That's what we do. We diagnose. We're service plumbers. So we're relationship and diagnosing heavy. Plumbing is a mandatory. If you're a service plumber, you got to know how to plumb. That's par for the course. But service and diagnosing, that's where it really comes in together. And we believe in services, relationship, communication, and really helping the customer understand what's going on in their home. And so if you put all that together for a second, you're like, okay, repair, replace, upgrade is kind of singular in nature. Maybe I can repair the toilet, replace the toilet, upgrade the toilet. But if I think about it like I'm solving problems, I can fix the problem for today. I can fix the problem for forever. I can fix the problem for today. I can fix the problem for tomorrow. I can fix the problem for forever. It's just a different way of looking at it. And it's not what I want to go back. When we diagnose, we're not just diagnosing the plumbing, we're also diagnosing the customer. For example, if I come out there for a leaking faucet and the customer's like, yeah, it's been leaking for like 6 weeks. I'm like, oh, what made you call me out today? And they're like, I got family coming into town this weekend. Okay. They're asking me to fix a faucet. That's what I'm there for. But I'm also there to make sure they don't look stupid in front of their family because they don't want broken stuff in front of their family. So is everything functional? We got to pick up on those clues because the customer may not know that they have other things in their home that aren't functional. And they're a good point. If I find out it's guests coming into town, that's what they're concerned with. I'm going to be more interested in the guest bathroom than the master bathroom. I'm not saying I wouldn't check the master, but I'm just saying that's where the conversation is going to go. That's where the thinking is going to go because that's what they care about. That's what they value. And that's what they want. 100% agree. I feel like customers are purchasing solutions, not just plumbing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's what they are. And they ask for a symptom solution, a Band-Aid solution. And it's our job to make sure that they understand what they're asking for. He said, ever think that when you don't offer the other stops, you actually shorted your client? House flood. Sorry, I didn't want to offend you, but that's like Brandon, dude, right? Like that's like when if I go to the doctor and my knee hurts and they find out I got cancer, and they're like, well, I didn't want to ruin the guy's day. Like what? Take price out of it and how you can help them. Yeah. It's just crazy how like the reasoning has to continue. Like it has to work all the way through. They want that broke fix solution until they see the real solution. They really do. And once they get the real education, that's the key. Once they know what you know, they're gonna want the same things you think. Like it's not like we're some magical creature that's plumbing wizards. We just learned how the plumbing actually works. And so now then we have the information, we share that information, and guess what they're gonna want to do? The same things I do in my home. I ripped out a 75-gallon power vent that was in a 3-year-old home and it had a tankless put in. And then the next winter, I had another tankless put in. That's what I wanted. You're not gonna, as a regular, because I'm not gonna know to do that. I'm not gonna know to do that. So repair, replace, upgrade, today, tomorrow, forever. We've got to do that. And Brandon's right. When you think about the real cost, how many of you have been on a call and there's a $300 job that's cost $10,000 of restoration? I mean, back in when I came in around 2012, there was saddle valves galore. Now it's shark bites. How I like that. Condition, cause, correction, confirm. The 4 C's to educate your customer. I like it. Rich says, we specialize in magic plumbing. I love it. Rich is in the program, runs Champion Plumbing. I'm going to get the city wrong. We already know it. We already know it, Rich. He said education works. No way, that's crazy. Imagine that. Imagine if we had more of that going around. I'm a plumbing illusionist. I like it. I love it. Okay. He said, I'm actually a magical plumbing wizard, and I'm just here for the merch. Let's give away some merch. Let's do a merch pack. How about this? Somebody asked me, somebody tell me a scenario where there's not 3 options. If you can stump me. Our merch packs are about $100 of stuff. So we give you a couple hats, couple shirts, some wristbands, stickers, hook it up, freshen it up, make it tight. Sleepy Plumber, who is an influencer online watching the show, he just got his pack. You can go see him, open up his stuff, check him out. Don't back him in the corner, do the best you can. Yeah, hit me up, put a problem in there, and let's see if we can get it. If it really stumps me, if you can at least get me to admit it's a good one, I'll give you the merch pack. If you can stump me, I'll give you a $50 Visa gift card. Okay, let's make it $1 million, because I'm just joking. It's not, for the record, it's not for $1 million, just in case. I want customers to make educated decisions without education. Yeah. Our entire business model is to educate the client so they can make a confident, well-informed decision. It is. In our program, we teach this kind of mystery process. I'm not going to get into it on here, but we get into this kind of unique thing where we give the customer multiple touch points. I believe the customer needs time. I remember when I came into the industry, I came in as a customer. I came in as a person that was struggling. Saturday morning, shower valve leaked. I'm a carpenter by trade, not a plumber. And I had helped a local plumbing company out with some other project unrelated to plumbing. And the owner sent a plumber to my house to help me out. And I was like, holy crap, you know, what do people do in this scenario? And he was working on it. And to be honest, man, the guy, it wasn't that. The company was a little run down. The guy was a little bit, we say he's wearing his last job on him. And he was very unconfident. And I was getting this for free and still didn't feel good. And I also don't like favors. So I was like, hey, man, you know, what would this normally cost? He was like $1,100 on a weekday. It was a shower valve going in from the front. And I was like, holy crap, for this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, man, in my mind, I was just like, so someone wakes up to a shot, like a water leaking on their hardwood floor, and they got to make, in a couple hours, they're going to be making a $1,200, $1,500 decision? That's crazy. Broken sewer line. Ooh, challenge accepted. Hose bib that frozen the frost proof had ISO valve. Someone had just left the hose on. Those guns. Now, I will say that sounds like if the hose bib froze and it was frost proof and it had an ISO valve and someone just left the hose on, that's an interesting one. I'll give you that. But here's my options. First option would be hose bib. Second option would be let's reset all the hose bibs. Third option would be flow by mowing and hose bibs. But that's assuming there's no water pressure issues, no water condition issues, and nothing else is going on. And I'm not allowed in the house, and they bolted it shut. There's nothing I haven't disagreed to that you said so far. Glad to be a part of this evening. Looking at adding my company to this training course. Love to send my guys home with one of your hats. Hook them up. You win, Dan. I don't know. You win. You got me. You got me right in the heart. But you don't win at all. I'm just giving you a prize pack. I'm not saying everyone else is out, but he's getting a prize pack. Hey, really quick, I got an event coming up. How many of you have wanted to get in a room with me and just talk it up? And Brandon's like, we've done it, dog. Dude, I'll tell you guys what. Next episode, I will show you the video of me and Brandon shooting an M249 saw at the side of a helicopter into a. I'm not kidding. Oh, I got the video. Freeze miser on two-way splitter. Oh, dude. Yeah, freeze misers. I learned about those a couple winters ago. Freeze miser, that's from Texas, bro. Gotta be. Because you can't use that stuff in the Midwest, by the way, dog. Where it actually freezes all the time. You can't do that. It'd be like an ice capade outside. It'd be like an ice capade outside. Brand new house, leaking angle stop. Brand new house and leaking angle stop. Shoot. All day, easy, baby. If that brand new house angle stop's leaking, first of all, is it an inferior angle stop? What kind of angle stop is it? It shouldn't be leaking, so that's abnormal to me. So now I'm concerned that they're going to need a flow by mowing because what else can leak in this house? And if I'm looking at one shutoff, I'm going to go ahead and swap them both out. Probably going to say, look, you get the flow by mowing, I'll knock these two shutoffs out, no problem. We'll get this one and that one just in case. Probably hook them up with a quarter turn main. If those are push pull stops, don't you get me started. She said, then the stunt plane video. I'm still recovering from the stunt plane episode. I know Brandon almost died that day. That's a different day somehow. You giving away free tickets to the event? I'll compete like Hulk. So look, if you guys want to ever come and do an event, we got an event coming up here. Email us at info@theplumbingsalescoach. We're going to be breaking down so much stuff. There's a bonus training 2 weeks before the event. We're going to show you, we're going to send you guys a vibe. In fact, play the little video. I built this chat bot that will break down your personality types. It does a whole thing. We've been using it all throughout the program. It's amazing. It's free. We're going to give it to you if you come to that event 2 weeks before the event so you can learn your personality type, and then we're going to do some added trainings. Flash that back up. Where's that video? Is it coming? Let's go on, put him on the spot. He's like, you said you were going to do it at the end. You already know you can't trust me, guys. Okay, here it is. So this is an example of it. You can type in, you click the little button, start my vibe check. It starts asking you questions. Obviously, I've already done it. So then I typed in what my what my actual results were. I was an IV, and it breaks that down. It's kind of like disc personality profiles, but I like the word vibe. You're vibing. This is your vibe, your style. This is who you are. And then right here, I told it starts breaking stuff down. Now, if you look here, you don't have to know how to spell. You'll see that I grossly misspell introverted here in a second, but thank goodness there's autocorrect. And then you see me kind of break that down. But I'm like, this is who I am. How do I deal with introverted people? How do I deal with people? And then it breaks it down. You'll see here in the result. It's pretty cool. It's really a great tool to help you kind of in the home. I'm just showing you some of the other results I got there. Comfortable leading in real time, a high energy. Imagine that. But then you can see these results right here. You're going to get this tool for free if you come to the event. You'll be able to keep it forever. But you can see here it gives you tips. Look at this. Learn. Lower the volume, not the confidence. Slow down. Look, it's going to be a huge help. It's going to be a huge help. But you get that for free 2 weeks before the event. You'll get to go through some bonus trainings, and you'll come to my actual new studios and our corporate office in Indiana. We got a new one. It's crazy. It's big. We're going to bring you all in there, and we're going to do live training. We're going to break this down, every single aspect of how I run that call, what I would do in the call. We're going to role play. We're going to do it up. Talk about science. This is cool. Sediment filter swap. What's the sediment filter on? Are we talking about like a 3-stage or a single stage that we're talking about? I assume that's what we're talking about. Big Blue? What are you talking about? Hey, Blue from old school. Yeah, sediment filter swap. Man, you ever thought about a maintenance-free solution to this? I'm saying? You want to go salted system? What are we doing? We're removing sediment. How much sediment? We're doing salted? We're doing carbon filter? We do a dual combo. You want to protect your skin? You want to protect the inside of your body? What are we trying to achieve here? Want to protect the plumbing? Do you help out new company that just got started? Yeah, we've had quite a few guys in the truck get out of the truck. What we're really about is helping you increase your revenue by maximizing your revenue, by teaching you how to run the call the right way. Then we want to show you some processes so you can duplicate that result. And then we want to show you how to scale so you can grow on that result. You're my boy, Blue. Mike Whitcop. What's up, Mike? Mike loves him some Jordan and some Bills. The Bills Mafia is a Bills Mob. You're my boy, Blue. TJ, I love it. Dank checking in from King Ruda. We're trying to retrieve silky smooth skin. Yeah, what are you trying to achieve? Backed up sewer, broken sewer pipe. What are the options, Go? Okay, on the backed up sewer, look, first of all, whenever I go to a home, I want to see what backed up. It's most likely a toilet. A lot of times it's a toilet. It could be a shower or something like that. But even if the shower backs up, I know that there's probably been a little bit of pressure, maybe a little bit of pressure on that wax ring on the toilet. Maybe. So if I've already got a broken sewer line, I'm assuming we ran the camera. Maybe there's a clean out, something to that effect. Doesn't really matter. We pulled the toilet, whatever. Option 1. Let's say they call us for a quote. Broken sewer. I want to know what backed up. They tell me, okay. Well, here's my first option. I can do the repair. I can do the replacement. And if I do the replacement, maybe I can replace the toilet. Maybe I can do the repair, or I can do the spot repair. Then I can do a new line. Maybe I can do a new line, a liner. Maybe there's a liner in there instead of the new line. And then for that third option, so just to be clear, I'm saying you could either break the spot repair, you could reline it or replace it, or maybe those are your 3 options. But somewhere in there, if we're getting into a whole new sewer line or something like that, man, I'm probably hooking them up with the toilet. We're probably looking at that toilet. If that toilet was old, we might bring up the other toilets. And in order to work on that toilet, I got to shut water off to that toilet. So even if I throw the toilet in for free, I still got to deal with that shut off. And if I got to deal with that shut off, I got to go look at the main. And if I got to go look at the main, I got to test the pressure. And if I got to test the pressure because I want to warranty the toilet, stuff just gets out of hand so fast. I don't even remember how many options we have now. Snake and camera, bundle snake, jetter and camera. Yeah, if we're on that original call before, like the house is still backed up. Yeah, it's run the drain machine, run the drain machine and camera, install a clean out, run the drain machine and camera and jetter. I'm probably stacking the drain machine and jetter and camera into the clean out. Probably stacking the clean out into the new line when I find the broken sewer. Frozen water lines. Vinny, do I got a story for you, bro? You know what? Just because it brings up memories, Vinny, you get a prize pack. You didn't get me though, but you get a prize pack. Is Cost on here? Cost you on here? I try to create the backup that leads me into seeing other things that are wrong. Then I want to see a camera. Yeah, I'm not doing this, but I genuinely know that if that toilet had pressure on it, and I'm gonna do a $16,000, a $8,000, a $9,000, a $20,000 job, I'm hooking them up with a new toilet. He said, no, on the real, I had a customer, brand new house. The PVC had a small crack in it from construction. The house was immaculate. And then the contractor literally said, I only need the option to put a sentence in it. That's what he called it. Well, first thing is you're dealing with a contractor. So let me clarify what I call a service call, what I believe true service is. Now, we can provide service to everybody. But what I call a service call, the person that is receiving the work is paying for the work. The contractor was paying for it. The homeowner was receiving it. The 1%er. And it's not even about options at that point. It's just a whole different deal. Me, when contractors call me, I go, hey, so the thing about us is, you want a marketing plan that you can pick and choose your customers. Have we always been able to pick and choose our customers? No. TJ's on here like, nope, we haven't. We've done some. Jeff said Brandon said they only made one mistake. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Brandon. I remember a call one time where the guy had to get a toilet, he had to redo his flange. And the guy that did the flange the second time did it wrong. The home's like 4 years old. So the plumber's like, there's no options, dude. It's just the guy did it wrong. And I'm like, well, why did he do it to begin with? The home's only 3 years old when he did it. And he's like, well, the contractors did it wrong. And I'm like, so do we want to maybe offer to pull and reset the other toilets and just check those bad boys out? Maybe peaky, a little leaky. You know, it's like, why are we just assuming that the contractor was amazing that day? He was probably drunk. He probably wasn't, but he might have been. He went with us on that. I've witnessed the frozen water lines get crazy multiple times with freshness. We used to run calls in Indy together. Okay, I'm glad you jumped in. So, look, Vinny, I think it was Vinny, right? Man, was that Vinny? I'm joking. That was your name, Vinny, man. But what I do is I run the call I got to isolate that. Frozen pipe calls really are going to cause, you're going to typically end up moving around in the home. I personally like to isolate. Costa's seen me do this, so some of you are going to try to be like, you don't do that. Okay. But I go around and I try to envision. Remember, I have a background in construction. I used to be a house builder. I did framing, finish, scaffolding. I did everything carpentry. And I just think through what I would see in that subfloor. Like, where would that wall be running? So just use your brain to isolate down the line. That's what I'm saying. So it's not logical that the builder ran that line from one corner of the room to, he probably followed some sort of 90 straight path system along the outer edges or something. So if I've got a wall full of plumbing on this side of the house and the utility room's right behind me, and upstairs there's a kitchen, and maybe in this case the one I'm thinking of, Cost, was the guy he was a surgeon, he was a doctor, but the wife was there. We came in and they had a frozen faucet, just the kitchen faucet. The bathroom down on the same wall worked, and the bar sink on the same wall worked before and after this faucet. So I knew there had to be a T somewhere where this thing was frozen because the line was running on the horizontals and the laterals. So I knew it was a T. I knew it was a riser, basically. So all I did was go to that and then I cut the hole right where that was. I got my finger up in there, felt the cold air blowing, radic, like something that chewed a hole through the wood headers there. And when that was like basically forcing air right on that little copper, and we had a cold day and whatever, it froze. So we thought it out. But while we were doing that, we went to the utility room and they had an old water softener. So my first option was on thought. My second option was, I really don't remember. It was a long time ago. But we ended up selling option 3. They went with the softener, the unfrozen pipe, and it might have been something else. Might have been a couple shutoffs down in that utility room. And I remember we were cutting the hole in the ceiling after they approved it, and I was going to knock. It was like 4 or 5 in the evening, Cost. So we were going to do that, get that unthawed so they could have their water back on. And then we're going to come back the next day for the softener. And the husband comes home. He comes downstairs while I'm on my ladder cut, and he's like, "Oh man, you do what I do." And I was like, "Really? You're a plumber? Why am I here?" And he's like, "No, I'm a surgeon." I didn't say it quiet. He's like, "You're a plumber?" And he goes, "No, I'm a surgeon." And I was like, "Oh, thanks. It makes sense." He said it was like a work of art. Had a sump pump frozen one time. A discharge line going out of the house frozen. Um, you, you know, anytime like that kind of stuff happens, usually they're unaware of it. So I want to give them any kind of upgrade that will help them. So in that situation, it's like, well, do you want to, you know, I think back then when I was doing Zolar Actives, if you guys remember those, the Pro Pack, they added the active to it. So it was basically the main, the backup pump, the whole system, and then you had the active was connected to Wi-Fi, so you had the app, so they could see. And I would tell the customers like, look, if your water temperature starts rising or any of that kind of stuff, this means the pump's running. Well, this guy had the pump running nonstop. Water wasn't leaving the pit. It was snowing outside. I think it was like -40, and it was so cold. And so we had to thaw the line coming out. So I had to cut it on the outside, and Cost was outside, and I was thawing it, and that thing unthawed in one fell swoop, and that dude got doused. He got doused, and in that moment of him getting doused, I felt bad. So I ran outside. He told him to get back in the truck to save his life. And I ended up, he said, I about got hypothermia. And so I'm out there gluing. I don't got no gloves. How many of you ever went to a job site unprepared? I had no gloves. I was the GM trying to prove a point. I wasn't even supposed to be out there. So I go out there with no gloves. I'm out there trying to glue this stuff. My face don't work. I can't say words. And it's so cold. And all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, no. And just like, I just see the water coming out like 34 gallons a minute right under my leg. He said, don't bring that one up. True story. That's the craziest part, Matt. We got some wild ones out there. Okay. Repair, replace, upgrade. Now we're going to spend the last little bit of this show. I'm going to teach you guys how to deliver these options. And it's important. It's so important. Okay. That's going to be the third point tonight. We're going to break down the soup. How to deliver options with service in mind. Now, look, this has been a big point of contention. Elvin, thank you for the stars, sir. You know, I've been learning about these stars. I think it's to like get a comment read. Is that right? So team, make sure that we are following that and get those comments up there. Appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. Yeah, man, Mark Zuckerberg started sending me checks every month. We're all like, what is this? That guy pays you if you put out content. I had no idea. For real, I'm not even joking. They'd send you. You should try it sometime. Go online, get your company out there if you're an owner. My goodness, start making videos today. Totally different topic. Actually, it's a nice little prelude. Next week, we're going to finish out, or next Thursday, this Thursday, we're going to finish this series. I'm going to tie it all together. How to Cook in Sales. We're going to put the whole thing together. And then the week after that, we're on next Tuesday, a week from tonight, we're going to do Vibe. We're going to do the personality profiles. I'm going to teach you guys all about it, how to do it, how to use it, how to read it, how to like understand it, how to keep from getting divorced because of all that stuff. We're going to break down personality profiles and teach you guys how to do that stuff. I can't wait. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. But tonight I want you guys to understand how to do this. And so as we move through the rest of this, we're going to finish out this kind of series, the 6-part series, and then the personality profiles. And then we're moving into marketing. And for all of you guys that aren't owners and you're watching, trust me, marketing is just sales from a distance. So it's going to be applicable. And we're going to take a whole new angle and learn our avatar, who our customer is, what they think, what they do. You know, a lot of us look at our customers as homeowners, but they're moms, they're dads, they're business owners, they're community members. They're community members, and we need to really understand that, to understand where they are and how to talk to them. So let's get into this options delivery. This is probably one of the most important things because a customer is confused. I want to back up for a second, though. When I talked about running the calls back in the day, I go on the call, build a relationship, then I'm diagnosing, and I'm following my 4-step framework for diagnosing. And we talked about 3 of them. What is broke? Why is it broke? What's it connected to? Do we still have those graphics real quick? I thought those were really important. I think we do, right? The iceberg and the problem on the iceberg and all that. If you do, flash it up, and I'll break that down really quick. But it's so important, right, when we talk about this, because customers, they do have tunnel vision. They're not thinking about these things. They don't want all these things. They don't want all these things. So what they want to do is they really want to isolate it down. I don't know if we have, we do. Okay, so this is what the customer sees. They see this toilet, and this is kind of like option 1, but this is what's broke. It's clear as day it's broke, man. It's leaking, it's dripping water. The customer's like, I'm dang near a plumber. I diagnosed this. Look at me. Hey, I think it's the fill valve, or I think it's the flow valve. I think it's the flow riser filler. Said regulate, don't discriminate. But really what's going on is there's something else going on underneath this. There's three problems really in this water pressure, water conditioning, and plumbing. And it's the bigger part of the system cause. It's like really what's going on here. It's not the toilet, it's the symptom. And then we have this epiphany. The whole house. The whole sorry, not that one. The whole house is on the iceberg, not just that toilet. This is how the customer is like, oh, some plumbers. Oh no, the house is over there. No, the house is over there. Joey said they not like us. All right. Age, condition, pressure. Exactly right. So when we deliver these options, there's been a whole like education series going on. Like we've been talking for a while now. Like, I mean, they've been seeing this. I say show no tell. My favorite tool in the whole wide world is a flashlight. This is what I go in the home with. I know I say bringing a service tool back. This is what I go in with. I got a tape measure on here. I got a flashlight on here. And I got my plumbing sales coach calculator on here. I got everything I need. I got my shoe covers right here, my pouch. I pull them out, brand new, put them on. When we go on these calls, we've got to build a story. We got to tell a story. We got to help them see. We got to uncover the story. We have to uncover what's going on. And we have to be able to communicate that to the customer and help them understand like what's going on. And when we do that, at the very end, we're gonna. It's been a lot. Okay, we've been through a lot. We've been going through tests. We've been scanning your body, doing MRIs. Right, we're scanning the home. We're doing MRIs in the home. And now it's time to come back. $100 million in sales with a flashlight. Cost has been there for most of it. Man, Cost, I don't know. I wonder how much plumbing I have sold. Oh, it's millions on millions, no doubt. It's crazy to think about. Actually, Cost did $4 million working for me a year, 4 years in a row, with that unique process we had back in the day. And he wasn't plumbing, to be clear. He wasn't the one plumbing, and he wasn't a salesman. It's complicated. I don't want to lose you. My flux capacitor on my gas water heater is broke. Bring your metric pliers. Don't need it, bro. I got, what was it, nitrogen? What was that stuff they were stealing from the talking about Back to the Future. He was just trying to figure that. I mean, Cost, I don't even know. It's crazy. And all the shop visits. I tell you what my average is. That's about it. Okay. I'm going to deliver my options in a specific kind of way. I want to regroup. I want to re-solidify. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. We start getting into numbers. When I give them numbers, I'm filling in blanks. I don't want them thinking, trying to figure out what I just said. I want to be filling in blanks. Like I want them to just be like, I'm just waiting for the number right now. I totally get it. Plutonium. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to break this down for you. Before I do, really quick, subscribe to the show if you want to catch the rest of these. You don't want to miss these. Type subscribe. It's a free show. Okay, you want to raise? Type subscribe. You want to make more money? Type subscribe. You want to get better at service? Type subscribe. You want to get better at diagnosing? Type subscribe. What's a good ticket average? A good ticket, I mean, industry standard is 300 to 400 a call, maybe 500. You know, if I see a guy at 600, 700, I'm starting to like, okay. In our program, you're going to see 1,000, about 1,100, 1,200. Some of the guys, that's the average. You started creeping up. TJ, I want to say is 1,600 or so. Give me a second, dude. I'll go find out what TJ's at right now. He's on here, bro. I'll tell everybody. TJ went 80% conversion, $1,615 ticket average. What? How many of you would like that? He ran 6 calls, 5 or 6 calls. I am in Atlanta, Ben. Ben, are you down here, bro? You've been, I mean, Ben Going, right? Neighborhood plumber, my boy, my dude, my guy. Flirts with me, won't date me. That's you, Ben. You flirt with me, won't date me. I want to meet you, bro. Where you at? You here? I'll meet you. I would love to meet you, bro. You're a legend in my eyes. I watched this kid. He was a kid. He just talked to me about coaching. Never got it. Just watching the shows. Blew a company up. He was young, bro. I don't mean anything by that. I'm impressed. Man, you're a legend of mine, bro. Love to meet you. Yeah, I remember every bit of you. I remember every bit. It's you and your wife, your young wife online all the time, like Two Peak Bonnie and Clyde. I think your brother's Evan. TJ, Texas is the best state. Come on, bro. He works at my bro. It's bro. Bro, you're married with my average state. Oh, Evan's on here. Evan's one of the best in Atlanta. One of the best. Well, I'm in Atlanta now, so we're gonna have to share that. Look, it's speaking of that. Let's break this down. Okay, let's break down the best. Okay, let's break down the three options. Let's use the NBA. I think we should use the NBA as an example. Now we got. When I'm going to show you guys how I do options. First of all, before I give you pricing, before I give you value, let me tell you the options. Let me just kind of go over the diagnosing. Now we're looking at the NBA. We're looking for the three best players. Remember, that's what we're doing. So we assessed a couple different things, and we found out there was three different guys that potentially could be in the running. There's three potential guys. There's this guy. Then there's all NBA 13. We were going to try to pull up his all NBA team this year, but he wasn't. So we got the NBA all NBA team. What's up, LeBron, number 6? Tyrese. Who is you, number 6? All right, who else we got? Flash up our real ones. Kobe. Next. Oh, you're not his brother, Evan. You guys might as well be. I think of both of you guys. I know you worked there. You worked with him, something. You're close. You know each other. I think of you two forever as the same for some reason. Look at them, 8 and 24. Both of those guys are better than LeBron. But anyways. And who we got? We got the GOAT. We got the GOAT. So option 1, if you want to put a Band-Aid on it, if you want to repair it, if you just want to fix the problem for today, this is your guy. This is your guy. If you actually want to solve the problem, though, for a while and actually give a real solution, get some pro stuff in your house, I'd go with this right here. This is option 2. Now, if you want to get crazy, you want to make sure this problem doesn't come back, Michael, my man Michael, the brick, the bum. Think of how much you love you can send back once you hit 200K a month. He said loyal. The flop is trash. Brandon says you guys can't see it. They hit his comment, dude. I want to hide that comment. That comment belongs. Here it is. You know MJ is the GOAT. I worked for him for years. Just about everything I know I learned from him. Yeah, I thought so. Nikolai Jokic, local. That's a local. That's a local. That's a local, Denver. Just chill out, bro. Calm down. Fresh might have to get you in a chokehold. Okay, let's break this down. So the first thing I'm going to do when I deliver options, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. Usually, I'm going to be honest, I don't really leave the home too much. I don't sit down at the kitchen table. Dude, if we're outside, I'll kick options with you at the outside. If I'm standing by the water heater, I'll kick options with you. I don't really care. I don't think there's a perfect place. I think there's just being you. Okay, that's be you. But if I or I might go out to my truck and get some parts pricing, maybe a more complex something. I got to put together I got to do some math. I got to carry some ones and I got to do some division. It gets crazy. I'm going to need some privacy. If I got to write spell, I want some privacy. But then I'm going to come back into the home, or I'm already in the home, and I'm going to say, okay, look, let me go over. He's 5 foot, but scrappy. 5 foot. That's okay cost. I'm on my way to break 200 a month. I love it. Yeah. So look, I'm going to reestablish diagnosing every time. I'm going to say, okay, I've got your options here. We've kind of, I'm looking at the toilet here. It looks like it, we talked about it needing to be rebuilt. Also, we could replace it. You had mentioned something about maybe elongated or comfort height. So we can look at something like that. Also, the shutoff wasn't working. So I do want to put together an option for that, or put that somewhere in the options. And then, of course, we talked about that flow by Moen. as an option. The other thing you brought up, you said you weren't really interested in, but you maybe were thinking about doing was swapping your water heater out. So that's a route we can go. I did put something in the options for that. And then I thought you might want to protect it with like a conditioning system like we talked about. You said you didn't want anything real crazy. So I just put a salted or a single stage filter in there as an option. In fact, let me kind of go through these options really, really quick so they make a little bit more sense. And I'll go through pricing and that'll clear up any questions you have. So in our first option, and you see how I did that? I took what I basically did was I took the menu, the whole menu that we offer, the whole catalog that we offer, and I pulled all the items out. Because if you remember and you go back to when we talked about value stacking, every item has to have its own value. Every item has to have its a la carte price. So I'm going to pull those out and I'm going to clear them up for her so she knows what items we're looking at. And then when I go back through things later, I'm going to be putting prices on each one of those items so they understand the full value of what they're getting. It's very important. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm now going to go over the options without the pricing. So I'm going to go over the diagnosing so I can start pulling out the solutions, all the different things that we might be offering them. And then I'm going to go through I'm going to pull all those things back in. I'm going to put them into buckets. I'm going to say, okay, in our first option, we've got X. In our second option, we've got X. In our third option, we got X. And here's a real golden nugget for you. And this is a debated topic. And I'm right. That's my debate. Start with the lowest option first. Now, some could argue starting with the higher option. And I get it. It's a sticker shock. It takes their breath away. And then you have the ability to kind of relieve them with the lower prices. And then that allows them to comprehend. But I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in shocking my customer. I'm not interested in making them have a heart attack. That's just not my goal. My goal is not to sell. My goal is not to convert. My goal is to provide an experience. So I'm going to make sure that they have a comfortable time taking the information in. I don't want to overwhelm them. I intentionally don't want to overwhelm them. I can't tell you how many of these guys on the internet are saying, use this word, say it this way, make them feel like that, do this to them. And I say, you're a persuasive manipulator. You're not selling, you're not serving, you're just manipulating. And at that point, what good are you? I mean, honestly, we don't need any more manipulators in the world. Can I get an amen on that? Who wants to be manipulated? Nobody. And how do you sleep well at night doing that? I'm done. Back to this. So I'm all about service. All about service. He says you start with the highest because you want to convert the middle option. All I can tell you is I start with the lowest, and cost and TJ and everybody on this call that's ran calls with me is option three, 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 option three. I think I went 3 months straight on call shop visits where there's nothing but option threes. I mean, do I get option one? Sure. And I'm just as happy. But I don't need to start with option three to get option two or three. I don't. 300,000. The player Giannis shoots sub 60% from the. I'm not sure what that's all about. Okay, we've got an argument going about who's the best player. Brandon Graham. No. Take that out. Stop it. Producers, no. I mean, David Jones, David White. I ran a call with David White in Mississippi. I ran a lot of calls with David White. I ran a call with David White in Mississippi. We were told they had no money. They told us, we don't have any money. We can't do this. No problem. But they had problems. I mean, what am I supposed to do? So I gave them the cheapest possible solution. And then I gave them the next, I could fix it for tomorrow. And then I went and gave them the third option. Look, no one has money until they see the deal. So that's for them. That's, you all of us, everyone on here has spent money that they didn't expect to spend because the deal was too good. I'm broke. Wait, how much is it? I mean, I make this joke all the time. I'm going to do it, Tyler. You win. Tyler, one of the producers. You win. I'm going to do it. So here's the phone, iPhone. And I think they're like $1,500. So it's used. So I'm like, who wants to buy this iPhone for $1,500? Not one of you would want to buy this iPhone for $1,500. Nobody. And then if I was like, what about 1,000? What about 900, 800? Well, I could get it cheap enough to where somebody wants it, but that's lame. Discount. That's no good. I got to build value in this thing. Hey, hold up. This phone turns on. What's on the phone? Well, on this phone, I've got some numbers, some contacts you guys might want. Maybe not. I don't know. The key to my Tesla's on here. Maybe that's helpful. Or maybe my wallet that's attached to the back is helpful. It's got access to my bank account. At what point does this become a good deal? And at what point are you like, I bought it. I'm first. You're fighting. That's my phone. I'm buying that phone. Give me the accounting numbers for $33 a month, maybe. Nah, Brandon, you want what's in here, dog. I know. Fresh and fresh. Bro, Isaac Cisneros, one of the coolest dudes you'll ever meet in your entire life. But I had the pleasure for, I don't know, a while. We were sharing a cabin together. It's a long story, but we're separate. We had our own lives going, okay? I'm a married man, but we were sharing this cabin and we're on there. And this guy literally turned the bathroom into a nightclub every morning. Every morning, dude, it was like, I was just like, bro, it's hype in there. What's going on? Okay, look, we have to focus on the customer experience. We're going to reestablish diagnosing. We're going to clean the menu up for them. Then we're going to package things together, bundle things together. No one goes to Walmart and buys coffee grounds, coffee filters, and batteries for their car as a bundle. No one goes to Walmart and buys a bike helmet, and Cheerios as a bundle. Okay, the idea would be that the accessories and the things that complement the original purchase are the bundle. Or if somebody came in there for training wheels, maybe you could convert them into a bike. But merchandising is all about understanding what the customer is there for and then complementing that purchase. That's what options are. That's what value stacking is. So I want to go over those options without pricing. I want to reestablish that diagnosing so they can see that. Then I'm going to go over my options with the pricing. And when I go over my options with the pricing, I'm going to say option 1 is X. And I typically go like this. Hey, and I don't want to hear about it in the prices, okay? If you don't like the prices, I'm just making stuff up as we go. That's how I live my life. Everything I talk to, I just made all this up tonight. I don't even know how the producers had this stuff prepared to show you. So option 1 is, a faucet rebuild, okay? We've got option 1 is a faucet rebuild. What we'll do is we'll replace the cartridge like we talked about. Now, this price that I give you does include the labor and the parts, and it also includes the tax. So this is literally all you'll pay when it's all said and done. That came out to $368.14. Now, in the second option, what I have for you is I have the rebuild, but then I've also got that main shutoff. I've got the two angle stops underneath that we talked about, and then and I've got that price for you here. And that is going to be the angle stops are normally $258.13 each. So if you add that together, you get $516 plus the rebuild that I mentioned was $300 and whatever it was. That's a grand total of $900. I will say if you do that option, I was going to take and do one of the shutoffs at half price for you just to try to help you out. It will be a little bit easier since I have the system bled down like I mentioned before. Now, in that third option, what I can do is I put all of the shutoffs in that we talked about. I put the main in there, and then I put that softener. And then what I did for your faucet is I put a new faucet in there, but I'm not charging you for it. Let me explain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge you for the softener. The softener comes in at $2,838.14. You already have a bypass, so I don't need to charge you for that. And then each one of those shutoffs, again, being $258. When I added them all up together, it came out to like $1 million, like right around $3,000. But what I'm going to do is I'm only going to charge you half price on those. And then I'm just going to give you a faucet. I'm going to install the faucet would normally be $838. I'm not going to charge you for that. So if you look on the invoice, it looks like it's about $6,000 discounted down to around $3,200. But in reality, you're just not paying the labor that I don't have to do, because when I do those shutoffs, if I do 1, it takes me about 2 hours. If I do 12, it's going to take me about 4 hours. So I considerably can reduce the amount of time. In fact, I can do all of this today for you if you want to knock it all out. Which one of these options makes the most sense to you? And I say, which one of these options makes the most sense to you? Because I want them to have the ability to say yes and no without saying yes and no. Everybody that tells you to get them to say yes or take away the no or corner them, turn that off. Cut that person out. Tell them just flee, run. What you want to do is give your customer outs. You want to make them comfortable. You don't want them to feel pressured and trapped. You want them to be able to comprehend what you're doing. When you start exasperating someone's senses, they don't work anymore. Think about it. Blind people definitely can hear better, smell better. Their senses are they're heightened. If you're ever in a fight, your senses, You'd go into tunnel vision. Some people they don't hear anymore. They don't smell anymore. They're just so focused. And when you start messing with people's senses in the sense of fear and emotion in that kind of a way, they can shut down, freak out, flight or fight. Winning. Educate customers so they can make their own decision. That's exactly right. And they'll make bigger decisions than you could ever convince them of. They'll make way bigger decisions than you. I've seen crazy. Do my very first call at this when I became an owner here. Ran a call in Buckhead. It's Ben, if you're watching still, TJ remembers this. I think he was here. Yeah, TJ, you were here. I ran it with Doug. No, I ran it with Brian, Doug's old boy. And it was a leaking faucet. Now, some of you are going to be like, this guy. But I'm telling you, these people were wealthy. They were fine. It wasn't like I took advantage of no one, I promise. I went in, I said, you got a leaking faucet? They actually had 2 leaking faucets. They were really expensive faucets, not from us, but like from the supply shop. They were $1,400 each. These artisan, I don't remember what they were. But the sprayer on one wasn't working in the mudroom, and then this one was working, but it was the handle was broke, and it was coming out of the handle. It was the body was cracked. So we had to replace the faucet. So I was like, well, let's take the sprayer that's still good on this one and move it to that one. You just pay for one faucet, and we'll hook you up, and we'll just get the other one fixed. I'll install the other sprayer, no big deal. But we had a little problem with the angle stops. They didn't work, so we had to check some things out. Well, then I was like, well, shoot, why would you have 2 faucets failing on you already? They're both kind of new, and they're really expensive faucets. Do you have a pressure issue? And she's like, I think so. We don't have any pressure in our shower. And I was like, that's the opposite of the kind of pressure issue. So we went upstairs. I popped off the end of it. I said, oh, it's gunked up with sediment. So we cleaned out the sediment, I put it back on. Now it's got too much pressure. Come out of the bathroom. We're getting ready to go down these stairs. It was like multiple staircases, a mansion we were in. Coming down the second staircase. At that time, the husband's coming up. And he goes, hey, what's going on? I said, well, I don't want this guy to think I'm just going through their house selling them stuff. So I'm like explaining everything that happened up to that point. You've all been there. You're like, hey, that was just. So then I'm explaining all that. And then he goes, well, here, I got a crazy one for you. Our water bill's only been 10 months. We've lived here for a year. And I'm like, well, shoot. He's like, you're not going to tell him? Yeah. I'm like, I don't work for the water company. I'm good. I don't care what you pay. That's great news. So I immediately think we got a leak, a slab leak or something. But I'm not thinking, wouldn't the bill be high, not low? I wasn't thinking. So I'm like looking for this. Then I realized, wait, the bill would be high. None of this is making sense to me. So then I realized I was sleeping and it was all a dream. No, I'm joking. This is real. So then I go to the back shutter. I had Brian with me. I go, hey, go test the pressure. I bet it's like 100 pounds. He goes and tests the pressure. It's 60 pounds. Now I'm really confused. None of this makes sense. We're like 35, 40 minutes into the call. Now I've seen 2 12-year-old water heaters. I've seen an Aqua Pure flow system that's got 8 canisters in it. I popped that bad boy. We depressurized it, popped that bad boy. I pulled the canister out. It looked like it came out of a car engine. It was nasty. She was like, oh, and I was like, oh, that's bad. So we put that back. Let's close that back up. She goes, is that my drinking water? I was like, not if you're not drinking it. So then we went upstairs and we were trying to find this thing. And finally I go, do you have any other water here? She goes, well, I have a pool. I said, show me the pool. That's about the only thing that I can make sense of right now. We get to the pool. She's got a well. The pressure switch is sitting at 140 or 130. I don't remember what it was. It was buried. And I'm like, I found your pressure issue. Just a crazy dream, Raylene. Yeah, $12,000 call. 3 options. I remember when I was going to the, that's why it's so important not to do pricing right away. So I was doing the diagnosis. Okay, this is what we got, whatever. I gave them third option was for 2 new units and a new water system. They were electric. So they were, I'm not electric. I'm not doing electric tankless. So it was electric. So we went with 2 new units and we were talking about all the stuff. And I remember in the third option, I was going to put the Aqua or the our Brita Pro series in there or whatever our software was at the time. And I went to the guy and the husband and wife, and we're talking, and they're like, I'm like, we can, and then the third option, I've got this software. So he said, look, if your software system's like $4,500 or $5,000 or something crazy, we're not going to do it. And I said, okay, cool. Then you might not do it. I did. I said, well, you might not do it then. I said, that's okay. Let me just give you the pricing. But that's stack. That's stack. How can we not do option 3? That's what he said. I said, I don't know. Yeah, it was about, dude, I was like, I couldn't believe this thing just kind of like shoot up a little bit above. It's like when I went outside, it was hovering. Yeah, how do you dumb down your explanation of what's needed? Great question. Honestly, man, I was telling everybody for a while to use this app called Pi, P-I. It's called Pi.ai, I think is the website. It's just a user-friendly little chat GPT style thing. But it was really great. I would say, I would teach this to different people trying to learn plumbing. For instance, I'd say, look, what is an expansion tank? How does it work? Tell me like I'm in third grade. Tell me like I'm in kindergarten. Give me an analogy and it will. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if you can find ways to relate plumbing to non-plumbing things. So, for example, when someone's like, "Our electric tank isn't any good," I'm like, "Well, it's kind of like towing a six. It's like towing a boat with a 6-cylinder. It'll work for a while." People get it. I don't have to go into heat exchanger on the fired up on the 99, but over here it's got electro. I don't have to do all that crap. I'm not going to do all that crap. I'm not turning into a scientist when I talk about softeners. Get good with analogies. That's exactly right. Find something relatable and understandable for them. Yeah. And know who you're talking to. And in a week from now, we're going to talk about personality profiles. And this is like, you're going to be able to tie all this stuff together because you're going to realize like, oh, everyone's a little different. This person needs to be explained that way. This person needs to be explained that way. Look, come to the event. That's what you want to do. You really want to get this dialed in. You want to be able to have me answer all your questions. Come to the event. It's live. We haven't done one in like 2 years. They sell out every time. I think before we even release it to the public tonight, we're already over 50% sold out because of our clients get access to it first. So they bought up a whole bunch of seats. But if you guys want to come, that's it right there. $397 for one, or you can get $997 for 3 seats. The owner comes free. And if you do it soon, while we run this bonus, we're going to give you a third option for the same price. $997, 3 seats. Owner comes for free, and you get the 2-week bonus session that's 2 weeks before the event. That's where we're going to give you that tool for personality profiles, and that's where we're going to teach you your personality profile and show you what your weaknesses are, where your gaps are, and why you might be struggling with certain customers, why some customers seem cheap, but they're not. You're just talking about things wrong. It's all about building value, and everyone sees value and perceives value differently, but that's your job. You're a service plumber. You got to know people just as much as you know the plumbing, and if you don't, you're so far behind. You're so far behind. Keep it stupid simple. Absolutely. Customers don't speak plumbing. Your value stacking, I value stack everything, Brian. When we're at a mastermind event, it's funny, all the clients in the room, they already know it's coming every time. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to sell something tomorrow. Just a heads up. And then I tell everybody exactly what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Because you don't have to hide anything when you're value stacking, man. If the value's there, it's there. Can't wait to see you guys, Dorinda. It's going to be great, Mr. Potty. We got Peach Plumbing in the house right now. We got, this is what the back of our shirts look like, the pizza. When I walk through like the airport, because I fly back and forth between the cities, no one cares in Indiana, but here in Atlanta, people are like, where'd you get that? I'm like, oh, some dude was selling them on the street. $25, but I'll sell you mine for 30. I'm kidding. I don't do that. What had happened was, yeah, look, for the owners out there, get your team a tech cave, bro. This is so important. Okay, they need their spot, they need their place. Brand it, brand your building. Okay, it matters. Your first customer is your employee. Okay, they don't work for you, you work with them. You got to roll, they got to roll. Real leadership. The value is undeniably immense. I found Fresh is terrified of fast cars, so never had to drive one. No, Fresh is terrified of fast cars that he's sitting in the passenger seat of that you're driving. I think you wrote that wrong. You spelled a whole lot of stuff wrong in that. Peach, baby. Yeah, in fact, one of our guys here is online, Billy. He does Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. He's a plumber. He videos all of his work and time lapses it. If you like watching people plumb, that's a great one. The Orchard, that's right, we call it The Orchard. Look, man, come to the show, subscribe to the show. Don't be missing out on that. Come to the event. Make sure you come to that event. We don't do them very often, and we're going to have a blast. I'm going to pour everything I have into that. That'll be a day and a half of just straight, pure work and knowledge and education. We'll provide lunch. It'll all be there local. You won't even have to leave the room. Some might say that we're kidnapping you. There is Kool-Aid also, but we drink that somewhere in the middle. Right in the middle somewhere. Same difference. He said same difference, not the same difference. Guys, I love you. I sure appreciate all of you. We had about 60 viewers earlier in the night. I don't know what we had on YouTube. Can't see YouTube tonight because I'm out of town. I love all you guys. I really do. We're going to be doing this for the rest of our lives together. All right, remember, serve your community and everything, not just plumbing. Have a great night, everyone. If you want more tips about marketing, sales, and business, type subscribe in the comments and get alerts about future shows. Also, check out our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and other major platforms. Thanks again for watching The Fresh Approach.
Fresh.